So while you might not be able to tell, your boy has actually started working out this month after a couple of years of being absolutely solely focused on side hustles. All aboard the gain train! Now that being said, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't feeling guilty about taking time away from blogging, away from side hustles, all those kinds of things, which actually sounds pretty damn ridiculous, doesn't it? Finding that work-life balance, or more accurately, that health-life balance when you are starting businesses, when you are focusing on side hustles, can obviously be incredibly challenging, which is why in today's video, I'm gonna break down my top 3 tips that basically have helped me get in shape this month and hopefully will help me get in shape over the next 12 months or so, whilst of course not neglecting the business in any particular way. So my first tip is just going to be looking at the month as opposed to the day. So this point has actually massively helped me put things in perspective. I mean, when you're starting a side hustle, it can be super tempting to want to do a lot more in the day than you already have done. Now this might sound super familiar to you guys, but let's say if your task for the day was, writing a blog post, you spent a couple of hours writing it, you hit publish, and then boom, sense of satisfaction. Not really, because in the grand scheme of things, every time I've done that, I've been left with a feeling of dissatisfaction and feeling like, I could have done a lot more, want to write another post, want to publish something else there as well. You're basically left feeling like you haven't done enough for the day. This day in, day out then, it can be a very easy one-way trip to feeling absolutely burnt out. Instead then, one of the things that has helped me massively is focusing on the big picture, looking at the macro picture, and just basically zooming out on monthly goals instead. I mean, I'm sure if you look back in your own history of your side hustles, you can see that there've been months where you haven't worked as hard or you haven't dropped as much content or any of those kinds of things, only for your side hustle to still be successful there. And that's basically what I'm getting at with this particular point. If you set monthly goals as opposed to daily goals and you actually achieve them, for example, hitting 10 brand new pieces of content on your website in a particular month, you're going to be left feeling a much stronger sense of satisfaction, as opposed to if you miss 1 or 2 days here and there. It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Point 2 is just going to be to prioritize your health. I'm well aware that this is going to sound absolutely ridiculous, but one of the fears and one of the challenges I had with actually getting back in shape and going to the gym and all those kinds of things was, if I do this, I'm working a full 9 to 5, I'm working multiple side hustles, I've got other things to kind of manage on the side there as well. Working out and looking after your health is basically going to take time away from those. Well, in reality, guess what? This is something that I said 4 years ago when I first started the side hustles, and your boy literally packed on so many pounds, it's kind of ridiculous. In reality then, and having watched what I'm eating and focusing more on working out and all those kinds of things in the past 6 weeks, it actually hasn't taken away any time from me focusing on the side hustles, with my output being exactly the same as it was beforehand, and it just basically eating into the dead time that I wasn't really making the most of anyway. Things like watching Netflix, just aimlessly scrolling on your phone like a madman. Now, one way in which it does this is it gives me a solid deadline to work with. So let's just say, for example, if I want to get all my blogging work done by 7 o'clock, I have to have a hard finish at 7 o'clock in order to not miss any of the classes that I'm attending. On top of this, I also find focusing on the diet, eating more slow releasing carbs, having more green veggies, all those kinds of things, means that you just don't crash as much throughout the day, and that allows you to stay focused for a lot longer. I'm not saying give up all the junk food, still keep that in maybe once a week or something like that, but in terms of everything else, you can hone in on that, can't you? So the final point I wanted to make was just to get an accountability team. So the final way in which I managed to prioritize my health when, starting a business, starting a side hustle, any of those kinds of things, was just assembling, like these pops here in the background, a mini team of health avengers to help motivate you and keep you accountable. So just like in business, whether you have a realistic objective, whether it's a YouTube subscriber count, hitting a page view goal, finding a brand new product to sell on Amazon, you need to do the same with your health. And whether it's something like reaching a brand new bench press number, working out for longer, whatever it might be, having a team there to keep you accountable is definitely going to help to keep you motivated for the long term. Now, one of the best ways I found to actually do this is by doing things like group workouts. So it could be a group spin class, it could be rock climbing, or it could be my own personal favorite, which I just started and I immediately regret, which is boxing. Your boy isn't knocking anyone out at the moment. Definitely not happening. Doing this in a group setting just means that I'm going to be able to work out a lot harder, a lot more intense than, let's be honest, if I was going to do this entirely by myself. Just ensuring then that you get the biggest bang for your buck when you do take time away from your side hustles. Now, this can all come full circle. I mean, if you get really good at snowboarding or boxing or whatever sport or hobby it might be, you can actually use that knowledge into your own side hustle, whether it's starting a website all around this particular topic, selling products around that, building a social media following. So it can actually benefit your side hustle there as well. So there you have it, blogging family. That's pretty much how I managed to balance my health, my fitness, all those kinds of things, when blogging. It's definitely been a couple of years in the making, but hopefully you've got some quick tips there that you can implement yourself. As always, however, though, if you are interested in more videos around, blogging, side hustles, personal development, sales, any of those kinds of things, absolutely smash the like and subscribe button. It really genuinely does help out the channel. And until the next one, I'll leave you to it again. All the best for now. Have a good one. Bye.